EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. And off we go from SoFi Stadium. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Stroud looks to throw on the first play. To Mixon on the check down. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Stroud to throw it. Mechie has it on the slant. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
Back to Mixon on first down.
He'll take it past the 40 to the 41, second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 7. Here's Stroud. He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Mixon with a first down carry. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Stroud. Quick slant caught by Kirk.
Well, that'll get them the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
Now it's Mixon running right. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now 2nd and 3. Throwing quickly, this is caught by Kirk.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On third down, Mixon. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
They'll run with Chubb. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal.
Now Stroud.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's third and goal.
Stroud.
And it's caught. Touchdown.
John Mechie
from 6 yards away.
And the Texans are on the board first on the road here in L.A.
That was a big throw right there on third and goal.
And the defense has to be prepared for you to throw the ball on third and goal. Because really, second down, second and goal, that's your play action time, and you're not sure whether they're going to run it or throw it. Third down, you're usually sure they're probably going to pass it. Even more impressive that they got it done. And on the opening drive of the game.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
Stafford and the Rams come up first and 10.
At their own 27. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
That's caught. Puka Nacua.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's second down and a yard.
Here's Stafford.
He'll get this one complete to Atwell.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
The Rams, they are on the move. They've got another first down.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the first down.
Open man is Atwell, complete.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
4 consecutive passes to begin this opening drive, and you can't argue with the results. They've already driven it into the red zone and a fresh set of downs here to play with.
Which means there's a lot of trust by the play caller, by the quarterback, the receivers, you name it. Everyone locked in, everyone doing their job. I'd continue to go in that direction because right now they get the defense back on their heels. Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Again, it's Stafford. This is caught.
And the Rams are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Oh, nice job there putting the ball right in the doorstep of the goal line. Couldn't quite get in to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
1st and goal and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back.
Williams is going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and they actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
His throw incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Stroud looking to throw.
They set up the screen to Chubb. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt.
Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but Let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. He's settling in nicely here in the first quarter running the football. Remember, he already has the touchdown run.
And you can feel the vibe, can't you? He's in unison with his offensive front. They are in concert together. So if you're flipping over to the other side of the line of scrimmage, they've got to be more physical and handle some of these gaps that have been created.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 7-7, our score after one. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Stafford. Going to be taken in here by Nakua. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. So a decent gain there, but not their 4th consecutive first down like they had on the first 3 plays.
You sound almost disappointed there. You want to fire the offensive coordinator on that one or what?
They'd gotten into a rhythm. I thought they were just going to keep going.
Well, almost a win for the defense, but if that's your win, you're not doing very well right now.
That is caught. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 25-yard line. Give him 18 on the play.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Well, this is caught by Williams. Will go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good call there on first down, and Brandon, I'm getting better over the years and not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
This 2nd and 4.
To the air again, Stafford. Throw right side, going to be caught by Higbee. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Now Stafford. And he's got it. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Stafford. It's caught here by Adams. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
Williams is into the end zone. Touchdown, L.A. He finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he returns this to the 22.
And now out comes Houston.
That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. A solid stiff arm. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
43 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Again, it's Mixon. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and 7. Play action. Stroud now. This goes out wide for Mixon.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And 3rd and 1 now.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Mix it up the middle.
And this will be a Texans first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Inside handoff to Mixon. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
From the 42-yard line, here's the 2nd and 8. And Stroud now to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Mechie.
And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. The Texans on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Texans first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
And that one too high and incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Now a 2nd and 10. Stroud to throw it.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game, but after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here.
Again, it's Stroud.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
A shotgun snap to Stroud. Pass taken in by his big.
The ball comes out, and this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery, but on 4th down, a change of possession anyway. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. They'll give it to Mixon, and he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Another drive for Mixon, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I would let him know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
3rd and goal, Stroud.
Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Schultz. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Texans' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
And, Charles, maybe that's one they had dialed up. Hey, if we're in a 4th and goal situation, we're going to our muscle.
And you can feel the boom, boom, boom all the way up here where we sit. The earth was shaking, and he found his way into the end zone.
Yeah, but that's such a great guy to have around the goal line, isn't it?
Indeed it is. It's a great extra dimension to add to your offense. When you can finish things with power, that's hard for a defense to deal with.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 to 27.
Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession.
So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 5.
Play action. Stafford.
A short one there taken in by Ferguson.
First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Stafford now to throw.
Pass complete there to Nakua.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now it's Stafford. It's complete to Williams. And he'll go down at the 28. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
Throwing again at Stafford.
He'll find a man over the middle, Tutu Atwell. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well, great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Here's Stafford. Caught on the right side by Adams. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Stafford. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
And his kick is good. And they take a 17-14 lead.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Texans with the football here late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Stroud looking to throw.
Open man is Kirk, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down.
Here's Stroud. He's got it to Collins, complete.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. This will be complete to Mechie.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And this one drops incomplete, but I think the defense jumped. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options.
Throwing now is Stroud. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. From the 7, it's 2nd and 5. Now Stroud. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Well, you have no doubt about that one because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there's no way that ball was going to be caught.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Fairbairn able to put this one through, and that will tie things at 17 all. So they're able to make things level just before half and also leave very, very little time on the clock.
And I love the way that you phrased that. Brought a little soccer into it, and that's really apropos considering they just kicked a field goal to tie things up.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Now the Rams about to go on offense one final time in this first half. 1 second, all that remains.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. A final shot before the break. Stafford. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. And the first half, just like the end of the game, can't end with a defensive penalty. They'll have another play.
One more play, untimed. See what happens here.
He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Rams offense ready to begin quarter number 3. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one, and we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee-wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
And the tackle there by C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw is Stafford. It's caught here by Adams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 5 catches for him in that first half, and that's number 6 that we just saw, and also a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Here's back-to-back catches for Davante Adams.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 5 catches for him in that first half, and that's number 6 that we just saw, and also a first down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To the air again, Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Here's 2nd and 4 from the 24.
Throwing is Stafford.
Going to be taken in here by Nakua.
He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now Stafford.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Here's Stafford. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Again, it's Stafford.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Rams are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Stafford. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Stafford. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
Well, there certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
And his kick is indeed good. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. Well, they don't get a touchdown here in the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half.
And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
Throw right side, taken in by Collins.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Now a 2nd and 2. Stroud.
That's complete. It's Collins. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
That connection seemed to work out okay on the first play of the drive. Why not go right back to it? And once again, this defense is left without an answer as they surrender back-to-back first downs.
From the gun to give to Mixon. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Again, it's Mixon. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
And Stroud now to throw.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over. But he ended up finding another receiver.
Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line.
And the LA offense ready for this next possession.
And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down.
Well, so much for being backed up against their goal line to start the drive. He gave them some breathing room and then some. I think the defense really got caught thinking safety, trying to stack the line of scrimmage. And oftentimes, if you can get past the initial grouping, there's a lot of room to run. The defense actually fortunate that didn't go farther.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Adams. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle, but give him credit. He tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Stafford now to throw.
Pass complete there to Nakua.
And he goes out right around the 39. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Now Stafford.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
From a couple of yards beyond midfield, here's 2nd and 8.
Throwing again is Stafford. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle to Williams.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 57 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Los Angeles. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Here's Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Rams are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now it's Stafford. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
Well, his completion percentage continues to rise with that one, but sometimes you want your completion percentage to go down. Maybe you should have thought about throwing that one away.
I was just going to say, it is easier said than done, but that's where you maybe bury it at his feet. Make sure he doesn't catch it.
Great call right there. Put it near the receiver, no grounding, nothing like that, but no one gets a chance to pick it off either.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Back to throw, Stafford. He's got it. It's Higbee. Touchdown Rams. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Rams go 98 yards and finish it off in the end zone. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
They begin with a run by Mixon. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
And completes it to Kirk over the middle. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up.
And he is going to have the Texans first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
Stroud to throw it.
Being chased out left. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
That'll be pulled in downfield by Collins.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
The pass finds Mechie in the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. John Mechie with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And the lead is down to a field goal now. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. L.A. set to take over again on offense. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And that's just an ideal run to start this drive because they're in full ball control mode now. So if you keep ripping off 7, 8, 9 yards of carry, you're going to have a great chance of finishing off this game.
From the 35, here's 2nd down and 2. They'll stay on the ground with Williams.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down. Stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 41.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
To throw is Stafford. Going to throw right side here. Complete. Touchdown, L.A.
Puka Nacua,
38 yards.
and the Rams get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Now, that's certainly an important touchdown there and makes this a 2-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that could win the game for us.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Texans getting set here to take over again on offense. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 3.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Now, we all know that an offense coordinator and a quarterback, they're aligned at the hip. But when you've got a runner who can get you that kind of yardage, that guy's invaluable.
Stroud looking to throw.
Pass incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Second and 10. Here's Stroud. He gets this one to Mechie.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Now Stroud. He's got his target. That's complete.
And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 28. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back. And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Here's 3rd down and 5. A shotgun snap to Stroud. The pass finds Mechie in the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. John Mechie.
A 22-yard touchdown grab.
And the Texans have cut it back within a score. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
Well, now how about this return?
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And this game not quite over yet, and we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field.
And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
Another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
Another run on second down, trying to cover up.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll try and run down some clock with Williams. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And he is going to have a Rams first down, and that should be the one that finishes this game off.
Only a 1-yard gain, but good enough to just about finish this one off.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
So no shortage of offense in this game, but a very clean game too, Charles. Each side got its points, but they did so without committing a single turnover.
That's so true, and it certainly felt like NFL football at its finest, right? You talk about the highest level from both of these offenses. Neither one of them afraid of taking risks, and both of them aggressively pushing it downfield. I did like, Brandon, how smart they were about going about their business, though. They were high-flying, but they took care of the ball.
Yeah, they did. And just keeping it clean in a game like this with all these points, you don't see that very often, even at the highest level. Job well done by both sides.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.